It's Josh and Chantel, and this is Wake Up Classy 97, the podcast, a replay of today's full show.
It's Monday, July 22nd. On today's show, we recap a bunch of things that happened last week while we were on vacation. Josh is still upset at the neighborhood cat. What's the difference between a bison and a buffalo? Axe murders in the campsite. Josh helped some kayakers. Luna took a boat ride, and the chicken is so tender.
I know. Hey, thanks for listening. You can hear the show live weekday mornings from 6 to 10. It's Wake Up Classy 97, the podcast. Enjoy today's show.
Doodaloo.
Classy 97, it's Josh and Chantel.
Hey, good morning.
Hi. Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I haven't seen 6 a.m. or let alone 5:05 a.m. when I woke up this morning in a very long time. In a very long time.
Light looks different than I remember it looking.
Yeah, the sun's a little slower.
Yep.
We have been waking up and it's been very bright and you've been like, hey, the day is here.
Mm-hmm.
This morning it was like, wait a minute. The sun's sleeping in a little bit.
Yeah, you know what that means.
The days are getting shorter?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That means that summer is fading away.
It is. It is. It's the 22nd of July.
I know.
What?
I need another vacation.
Okay.
I just got back from vacation. I need another one.
Uh-huh.
Take full advantage of these summer days.
I see. Well, today is National Rat Catcher's Day.
Oh.
Gotta catch a rat. Now, it has something to do with the German folktale where the piper came into town and played his flute to catch rats.
Oh, yeah.
But then instead used his music to woo all the children into following him out of town. You know the age-old tale.
Why did he... Wait.
They said, we've got all these rats. We need a rat catcher. And they hired this guy.
Yeah.
And he came into town with his flute to get all the rats.
Uh-huh.
But the rats didn't care. But the children were put into a trance, and the children marched out of town with him.
What happened to the children?
I would have to read the whole legend.
I don't
It's a
remember
big
that
fairy tale, and fairy tales are pretty creepy. People getting thrown into big vats of soup, cooked in witches' ovens. Like they're not good.
Oh, they're terrifying.
They're not good. More than 100 children left in this tragic event that took place in 1284.
Oh, my.
Yeah. It's a fairy tale.
Yeah, it's not real. It's not real.
Sure. So let's celebrate National Rat Catcher Day.
Let's not.
Okay. Let's see. It's National Be a Good Teammate Day.
Hey, you're a good teammate.
Thanks. You're a pretty good teammate yourself.
Thanks, bud.
It is National Hammock Day.
Hey.
I like a good hammock.
Remember you put up a hammock once and then you tried to get into it and you fell right out.
Remember when I told you never fall in a hammock in front of a woman because she will never let you live it down? Ever. Never fall down in front of a woman.
Only if that woman is your wife.
Yeah.
Josh.
No woman will ever let... You're that guy who fell down. Stranger. It'll happen. It's World Brain Day.
I can't.
You can't?
I can't brain today.
Okay. All right. Let's see. What else do we have going on? It's Mango Day.
Ooh, delicious.
Mm-hmm.
With some tahini?
Sure, if that's what you're into.
That is what I'm into.
It's kind of what's going on.
Okay. And it's Monday. And we're back.
Hey. The circus music even.
We're back.
All right. Well, good morning. It's Josh and Chantel.
We have talked before about how we're getting older, you and I.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice changes as you're getting older. One of those changes is you tried to fish during our vacation and you were having a heck of a time trying to get your fishing line through your hook in your fishing.
Listen, we don't need to bring up my total requirement for cheaters.
I said, let me try.
Mm-hmm.
And you fidgeted and fidgeted and fidgeted, couldn't get it. And I said, do you need a magnifying glass? I can pull something up on my phone. And you said, no. I said, let me try. And then I almost went cross-eyed trying to thread that fishing line through that little eye hole.
So here's what happened. Last day of second grade, I was told, you're going to need to wear glasses, kid. Oh. So I got glasses. I had cool engineer glasses with the big bar across the top. Cool. Very cool.
Cool.
Very cool for a second grader.
I bet.
It was because they were probably the least expensive frames. My mom also went, this kid's going to break these frames, so I'm getting the big reinforced ones. And I would fall asleep with them on because how else am I supposed to see my dreams? You know? So it's just the way it went. I bent a lot of glasses in my day.
Yeah.
And so up until, a couple of years ago, I wore glasses and contacts forever and ever. I got LASIK, which was a big deal. Now I can see far away very well. I don't have to wear contacts or glasses, just go about my day. Mm-hmm. But now what's happening is the close-up vision is suffering. I'm getting old.
I know.
And that is something that LASIK does not do.
I tried to thread that fishing hole. I couldn't do it. I was going cross-eyed trying to do it. And then I thought about all the times I have to thread through a sewing machine.
For real.
What is with these hobbies where you have to take something tiny and thread it through something even tinier? That's not fair. What in the world?
You got to get these old people hobbies earlier.
I know.
I was sitting at my fly tying vise over the weekend as well, and I was tying up some flies, and I have a big magnifier right there, and I'm like, yes, now I can see what I'm doing. I just need to carry that around.
Well, right, and even with my sewing machine, sometimes that's hard to thread the needle. But I have an automatic threader on my sewing machine, but I refuse to use it because...
Oh, I use it every time I use your sewing machine.
I feel like it's cheating.
Nope. It's there for a reason.
I know. I might have to use it more and more because...
It's to assist old people eyes.
I know. That's what I have.
So use it. I'm not going to use this convenient thing. No, never.
No, I'll never give in. I'll never admit defeat. We have a... stray cat in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's not a stray cat. It lives somewhere.
It lives somewhere, but it lives outside.
It either lives next door or across the street.
Not across the street.
You don't think so?
No, guaranteed.
Okay.
No, it's either next door or the next door. It's somewhere on the same side of the street as our place.
Okay.
It needs to quit using my backyard as a litter box. I am very upset. We've talked about the musking issue.
We have.
I've been trying to take steps to essential oils and things because I don't want to harm the animal at all.
Right.
I just want it to not come into my backyard. That's all. It's a simple request.
I know. We've tried to sick our vicious dog on her.
She's
Kinda.
On a tether. She doesn't get very far. She just barks a lot. And the cat's like, nah, you can't reach me.
I know. The cat's like, you're not even vicious, buddy.
Yeah, there's that. So I've tried a lot of things, but now I've got this issue where it's turned the gravel in front of the shed and by the fireplace and stuff. I just know if I go over by the fire pit, I know it. And it's really it's bumming me out.
I know it is.
It's very
that's
bumming
a nice
me out.
Space. We like that space.
And then, for some reason, it's now decided to leave dead mice in the driveway.
It's like, hey, buddy, let's just be friends.
I don't want them.
Look what I can do for you, it says.
I appreciate that, but it's bringing them and laying them there.
Just leaving them in front of the house.
And then I have to deal with it.
I know.
I'm not, like, what is the deal with this cat?
This cat's like, hey, let's just be friends. I'm a mouser. I can get all the mice for you.
Go do that.
Look at what I've brought you.
Don't spray all over my house and my deck and my wood pile. And also, don't use my gravel as your litter box. Those are my two requests. And also don't eat my birds.
Yeah.
Because I like the birds. I don't care about the mice. Have all the mice you want. I don't want to see them.
We haven't seen any dead birds. Just the dead mice.
Right. Which I'm grateful for. But that I fear is next. And I'm not okay with it.
I'll be so mad about that.
Me too. Anyway, I don't know.
He's leaving me presents.
I don't want the presents. I don't want the little cat gifts.
Here's a present. Let's be friends.
I don't want them.
You're not having any of it.
I don't want them. I don't want any of the gifts. You're leaving me stink. You're leaving me litter box stuff. You're leaving me dead mice. I want none of it.
Just the other morning, you looked out the window and said, look what's out there.
Yeah.
That cat just sitting there like he owns the place.
I know.
Like he owned the backyard.
Get out of here. Go to your own yard.
I know.
Please.
Why
Just
are you in our yard?
shoo.
Maybe we
Shoo,
have more
shoo.
mice than their yard does?
I don't think so. We do have the chain link across the back of the fence where they have a solid fence.
Okay.
So there might be something to that, but mice burrow, clearly.
Yeah.
They go under stuff. So I don't know about that.
Why does he like our yard so much?
I don't know.
It's because it's so nice and friendly.
Yeah, we have bird
We have
baths, bird feeders everywhere. Yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah, it's like, look at all these birds.
Yeah. Just go ahead and have some of that. All right, some good news today. Last week, a dog in Manville, Texas, was having a very bad day.
Okay.
This Labrador retriever was on the run with a plastic bowl stuck to her head.
Oh, no.
And the bowl was an issue because it covered her nose and mouth, and
Yeah.
there was some fear that the dog wouldn't be able to breathe.
Oh.
So police were called in to bring in the dog, and the community rallied to help out before things got worse. They didn't locate the dog, so the mayor, other community members, and animal control officers got involved, and they launched drones
Okay.
to try to cover more area, search area. And after more than a day of chasing this dog around, they finally captured the dog and sent her to a local vet to remove the bowl and help her get back to full strength. The police department was able to share the good news with the community, which also thanked all of those involved on the on the rescue team for retrieving the poor dog and bringing her to safety. The dog is okay. Everything's good. The bowl has been removed.
How did they remove the bowl?
Well, they took her to the vet, and
No, I
then
know,
they
but-
were able to do it.
How?
I don't know. It's like I've got a picture of the dog with the bowl on her head. It's like you know that jar that those little pretzel bites come in? The little
Yeah.
what do they have inside of them? Cheese or something?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Yeah, that's it. It's peanut butter.
Yeah.
The peanut butter little pretzel thing. So
Yep.
it's a clear jar
So it's not
thing
a bowl.
like that. Well, but it's not as deep. It's only
Okay.
about that deep.
Okay.
How much is that?
I don't know.
It's maybe 5-6 inches deep. And the dog's whole face is in it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But how? I'm
And then-
curious to
and
know
then
how they
stuck.
got it off.
Well, they probably pulled. Poomp. It just came off.
I don't think that's how they did it at all.
What do you think they did? I imagine they probably wiggled it a little bit and then it pop, came off.
It's a good popping noise. Good job.
That's probably what happened. It's good news to get you going on Classy 97. Air Supply, the band,
Yes.
Air Supply,
Yes.
are bringing their Lost in Love experience to the Port of Health Trust Amphitheater, the Port in Pocatello. The show is August 21st, so it is about a month away. We do want to send you to the show. We have tickets to give away, and tickets are also on sale right now, so if you want to buy them, you can. We've got the link to buy tickets and the link to enter to win a pair of tickets to see Air Supply.
on.
I know, right? In the Classy 97 app right now. So you just open up the app. You'll see it says Air Supply. Tap on that link, and you can enter to win tickets to see Air Supply August 21st in Pocatello. If you want to go for free, go sign up. If you want to buy some tickets just to make sure you can go, the link is right there.
And in the meantime, just prepare singing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know.
There's words.
You know the
I
one.
swear, there's more words than just ma-na-ma-ma-ma.
I know. I didn't want to fully get into it.
All right.
Copyright issues and stuff.
I don't think there are. I think they're probably more upset that you munna-munna-munna'd your way through it.
I know the words.
Okay, do it again with the words.
I'm all out of love.
Yes.
I'm so lost without you.
Uh-huh.
I know you were wrong, Believe in
You got some at the end there. Hey, go enter to win Air Supply, the Lost in Love experience at the Portneuf Health Trust Amphitheater, August 21st. You can win free tickets to the show, or you can buy them in the link. It's in your app.
In the meantime, keep practicing those songs.
Which one? No, we're good.
We were camping.
Yeah.
It was actually so hot outside that we decided.
How hot was it?
It was too hot to do anything outside.
Yeah.
We thought about going, like, we have a paddle board, and we thought about blowing up the paddle board and taking the paddle board on the water. It was so hot. And then that just seemed too much effort in and of itself. So we decided for that day to just hang out in the trailer.
In air conditioning. I know.
It was miserable. It was so miserable.
I know.
And
It was even hot in the shade. Like
was.
You go to the mountains, you're out camping, you're trying to just escape. You're listening to nature, and you want to be outside, and it's just muggy and hot.
You can't do anything.
Yeah.
It's miserable. So we stayed inside the trailer. We were playing some camping games. You and Emery were playing a game inside the trailer. And then it was a 2-player game.
Yeah. And you were just kind of hanging out with the dog.
And I was hanging out on the bed.
Yeah.
And then I hear voices outside the trailer. And I go, Josh, someone's here.
Right. Yes.
Who comes to your campsite? Nobody should come to your campsite.
Well, I'll tell you who comes to your campsite.
Who came to our campsite?
Brian and Curtis. Brian and Curtis are 2 gentlemen who came to the campsite soaking wet, wearing life jackets, PFDs. And they had capsized their kayaks. They're floating the river that was nearby.
So scary.
And they had capsized a couple of times. And the second time they were like, we got to get ourselves out of the situation. And they were on a scary stretch of river. I have no desire to float that. And and I do some floating. And I was not super stoked to hear that they were riding that part of the river just in kayaks. People do drift boats and stuff in it. There's a little bit more real estate on those. And I was like, guys, this is a scary stretch of river. And it's running high right now as well.
It was fast, too.
It's a lot of river right now. And they were like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have done that. So they had lost their kayaks, and they had wandered into the campsite, and they were in need of a ride back to the truck where they had parked when they put their kayaks in. And I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's get in the truck. I'll take you back. Not a problem. No big deal. And they weren't totally familiar with the area, so I helped them kind of find their way back to their truck. And I said, let's go down river a ways. Let's see if we can find your stuff, because it was still the kayaks were still floating down the river. And so I got an update this morning. Friend of the show, John, knows these guys. They did find one of the 2 kayaks. Which is good, but not perfect.
Right. That's a 50%.
But it is 50%. But it sounds like after they capsized and lost the kayaks, they were kind of making their way to shore and trying to get back to their truck, and happened upon our campsite. We happened to be there, and it just worked out that way, which was good. I'm glad I got to, meet these guys and take them back to their truck.
Me too.
It was good to hear their story and to get to know them a little bit there in the 10 minutes we were together.
What's funny is they came to our campsite, and you stepped outside to talk to them because our dog was going crazy. And then you came inside and you grabbed your wallet and keys and said, I got to take these guys back to their truck. And then you took off.
Yeah.
And Emery goes, wait, what? And I go, I don't really know. And then you just we have no idea where you are. We have no idea
my phone
who these
and my wallet and keys
are.
and everything. It's fine.
Yeah, that's cool. Me and Emery were stranded. What if they were murderers?
Oh, they weren't.
And they were like, hey, we've got a good trick to play on this guy.
Oh.
Let's show up in flotation devices, soaking wet.
What TV shows do you watch?
Kidnap this man from his wife and daughter.
Yeah. I'm glad they're safe.
I'm glad everybody's
a scary situation.
Yeah.
They were doing the right thing wearing their life jackets. Always wear your life jacket when you're on the water. It's just the smart thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're on, raging river water like that. And I'm glad that they're topside. That's good news. That's really good news. And they found one of the two kayaks.
Dang it. That's too bad.
So they're still out there, a missing kayak that belongs to one of these dudes.
And
the
phone? Did the phone get?
I don't know if the phone was in the kayak. That was the other thing. They didn't have a phone. Fortunately, the guy who owns the truck, I think that's Brian, he had his keys, so he was able to get into the truck.
That would
he
have
had
been
them on
so
it.
bad.
And he was like, I don't even know if it's going to unlock my truck. It's soaking wet. It did. So that was good news. But they found one of the two kayaks as of this morning in my latest update. So glad they're good. That's really good news.
Adventure. Scary.
Yeah, scary adventure.
We did some camping last weekend. Beck had to work, so he couldn't do the whole camping trip with us. But we last weekend, to kick it off, we went out and did some camping in Yellowstone, and then we spent a couple of days there, and then we came back, dropped him off so he could go to work, and then you and me and Emery went back out camping, and then we came home and spent the weekend with our boy again. Sometimes, as much as you love people and like spending time with the people that you love.
Where's this going?
Oh, there's just a time where you realize that you've been spending too much time together.
Is that right?
And then there comes a moment where you go.
When was it? Was it about 5:45 this morning when you were like, I gotta go now to work with this guy?
No.
When did that happen?
I think it happened on Saturday, when we were all just a little bit cranky and we were all just a little bit too much. We need to separate. And we all had a moment where we all kind of just went and did our own thing. And it was kind of lovely. Wasn't it nice?
I guess I didn't notice it was happening.
Oh,
what did I do?
I don't know what you did.
Is that when I was tying flies?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Too much time together. We were spending way too much time together.
That's what a family week-long vacation is supposed to be like, isn't it?
Yes, but you still need some downtime where you go
decompress for yourself.
Yes. And even Emery, because I don't like to see my people bored. And it was so hot the one day that we just stayed inside and played some games. And I said, I just want to read my book. I'm tired of entertaining everybody. I'm tired of making sure everybody's happy. Can I please just read my book? And we were all kind of sitting there just bored. We were kind of scrolling on our phones. We were all kind of casually like, what do you guys want to do? It's too hot. Do you want to go on the pond? No, we have to blow up the paddleboard. It's too hot. Anybody want an ice cream cone? Yeah, I'll have an ice cream cone. And then finally Emery said, can I just hang out on my bunk for a little bit? And I went, yes.
There was a nap.
Thank you.
There was a nap moment.
There was a nap moment.
I was very good with the napping moment.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We all needed just that break where you guys all took a nap. I got to read my book. It was lovely. Lovely. It's my favorite.
That was your favorite part.
The only thing that could have made it better is if I was in a hammock and it was about 20 degrees cooler.
Right. For sure.
Then it would have been really magical.
But other than that, other than the one little like rough moment there that led to nap time, is there any other times where you were like, I just really want to be on my own right now?
No.
Or were you pretty good?
No, it was pretty good.
Okay, good. I felt pretty good. I didn't feel like any time in there I was like, man, I wish these people would leave me alone. I was in it. It was all good.
It was funny because you guys took a nap and I was reading and I was like, oh, I should take a nap because I am kind of tired too. But I couldn't put my book down. And then I finally put my book down and I was like, okay, I'm going to take a nap. And then you and Emery woke up.
Yeah, now it's time for Chantel to entertain us again. You were reading your book and your book was sad.
Yeah.
And you kept saying, I can't even read this. It's too sad. Like the whole time you read that book, like you chose a book that was sad front to back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Because it's good.
Why?
It was a good story.
Okay.
It was very well written and it was beautiful and it was lovely.
But it made you cry the whole time you read it. And you're like, I can't even read this book. I'm too sad.
There's lots of books I read that are too sad.
Okay.
It's because they're good.
All right. A good, sad story.
Yeah.
All right. I'll read happy books.
Well, I read
Like
those
Danny and the Dinosaur. Have you read that? That's a great book.
not for a long time.
Riding the dinosaur around town, taking him to school and stuff. It's fantastic.
It is a good book, Josh.
I do like, is that a golden book?
No.
Are you sure?
Uh,
It might be a little golden book.
maybe. We don't have it in the little golden book form because we own it. But
We
it's,
do? We have Danny and the Dinosaur?
Yeah.
I need to read Danny and the Dinosaur.
Okay, I'll get it out of storage.
It's a happy story, front to back.
We went up to Yellowstone last weekend. Yellowstone is in our backyard.
I know.
And we haven't been there in a very, very long
So
time.
I was there last year, which was very, very cool. I was excited about backpacking through Yellowstone. And then this year I was like, hey, I want to take you guys to explore some of what I saw. Now, I'm not going to make you walk 40 miles over 5 days.
Yeah.
So we kind of did some driving around, but we went to parts of the park I've never been to. Like
Yeah.
I've been to the park a handful of times in my whole life, maybe 4.
Yeah. Same for me.
And until this last time, we'll call it 5, maybe 6 tops that I've been to Yellowstone. And it is right here. Like that is the crazy part. It's not that far to drive.
The
It's
last
right there.
time we were together there as a family, Emery was just little.
It was
she
like-
was probably 4 or 5.
Right. It was 10 years ago.
And we kept talking about Old Faithful, and we're going to go see Old Faithful, and it's a geyser.
Right.
And when we got to Old Faithful, she, as a little 4-year-old, goes, well, where's the old guy?
Right. She thought there was a guy. It was an old guy. We were going to go see this old guy.
The geyser, Old Faithful. She called it Old Faithful.
Old Faithful.
Old Faithful. So we said, okay, as a 14-year-old, we're going to go see Old Faithful, and then you'll see, maybe it'll make sense to you. Guess what? We didn't go see Old Faithful.
We didn't.
You know why? Because there was a 2-hour wait
Yeah.
to see Old Faithful. And we said, we're not going to do that.
Because it was 7 o'clock or so in the evening.
We had already
and-
been
yeah.
through a lot of the park. We had seen a lot of other things.
Right.
The Grand Prismatic. We had been up to Mammoth.
Which I'd never been up to Mammoth before.
What was it called? Mammoth Springs?
Yeah, whatever. Mammoth.
Something
I've
like
never
that.
been up to that
No,
part ever.
me neither.
And that was really cool. And that whole little like town that exists right there.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
It was very
So
cool.
that was way cool because I'd never been up that part. And that was cool. And then we went over that incredibly scary bridge.
It was scary.
And then realized that we couldn't make that loop down because the flooding stuff that happened a year ago or
They're
so.
still working on
That's still
construction.
closed, and so we weren't going to be able to. So then we turned around and drove back over that scary bridge, and then
2
went
times.
kind of back down toward Grand Prismatic and Old Faithful. We drove around the lodge area for Old Faithful, and then went, yeah, this isn't it.
No,
This isn't it.
No, there was way too many people. It was a 2-hour wait to see it erupt again. And we said, do you guys want to, I said to the kids and to you, do you guys want to wait 2 hours or do you, like hoping, crossing my, please don't, I can't do it. I just want to go home.
What would we have done at the lodge
I don't
for 2
know.
hours?
Nothing. And you
Right.
could have walked around but again, it was hot. There was a lot of people. So sorry, Emery. She, as we entered the park, because we were, I said, watch for wildlife. We're
Yeah.
going to see some wildlife. And we didn't, we had gone 2 hours. We were driving and we still hadn't seen anything. And she said, I thought this was going to be like Bear World. Where you
Well,
just
there is.
drove through and saw.
Yeah, no, it's the actual
bears,
just outside
buffalo.
wilderness nature. Yeah, that is. She has probably no memory of going there
No, I don't
when she
think
was
so.
4.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
To see the
Huh.
old guy.
yeah,
Old Faithful.
the old faithful, that old guy.
We did get to see some elk and some
We did see elk,
bison, and we did see a baby bear,
which
as
was
we were
really cool.
leaving the park. Our
Oh.
dog saw the bear
Right, and was very on alert.
from our car.
Yeah, from inside, and was like, "There's something up there," because she was just looking out the window, and then was like perked up, and that's when we saw the little bear cub wandering around, which was, I've never in all my times in Yellowstone, the now 6 or whatever it is, I've never seen a bear until this time, which was really cool. Then we had a lot of debate about what kind of bear we saw. But
I think it was a grizzly.
It was a bear.
It was
a bear. We saw a bear.
Yep. And then some people behind us had to stop, and they got out of their
vehicles.
Can I
say, listen to me when I say this. If you are a local East Idaho resident.
Guaranteed they weren't local.
They were.
Were they?
They were. And I'm just going to say, even if it's your first time in the park and you've never been before, you've heard enough of the stories about people and animals and how to behave and people getting hurt and all that stuff. You should know better.
He got out a tripod.
Dude.
Stopped traffic.
Stopped traffic.
Got out of his car with a baby bear, by the way.
Which means there's mama bear somewhere nearby.
We said, we got to go. Yeah. I'm not going to watch somebody die today.
No kidding. So once we got around that corner, whatever happened to you is your own business. But you blocked traffic to get out a tripod in the middle of the road, which is not the thing to do.
To capture a baby bear.
Right.
Oh, that mom was going to be so mad at you. We're all mad at you.
I saw some very horrendous driving in Yellowstone Park, and I was cranky about it. I was quite cranky.
Quite cranky.
Oh,
quite
cranky. About traffic. Anyway, Yellowstone's great. If you haven't been in a while, if you haven't been in 10 years, go back.
It's still cool.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things to see.
Go see places you haven't been before, because that's exciting, too.
Also, that was neat. But we also had a conversation about the difference between bison and buffalo.
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't know. I still don't know.
We call them buffalo, but they are just American bison. But because of when you said what's the difference between a buffalo and a bison, it showed you a picture of a bison and a picture of a water buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a big difference between that and that. So, but what is the difference between a bison and what we call a buffalo? I think they're the same.
No, it says they're different. Two different animals. Buffalo and bison, two different animals.
No, I know. But when we call a bison a buffalo, we mean a bison is a buffalo.
I don't think so still.
You don't?
No. Bison have a large hump on their backs. Buffalo do not. Bison have large heads, while buffalo have smaller, more cow-like heads.
Yeah, I know. That's because you're looking at water buffalo again.
No, it's not water buffalo. Bud. It's not.
Classy 97, it's Josh and Chantel. Hey there.
Hey, we were, excuse me, like I said, camping.
Yeah, well, this was the first trip or the second trip? Which trip are we on?
First trip.
First trip, okay.
I think.
So this is where we were camped when we went to Yellowstone.
Yes. And we're all sleeping, slumbering away. And then I wake up because I hear sounds like somebody chopping wood. And I look at the time and it's 12:30.
In the morning.
And I go, who is chopping wood? Is that even chopping wood? Yes, it's chopping wood.
At 12:30 in the morning.
And then the dog hears it. And then the dog starts to bark. Mm-hmm. And then you hear it and you wake up and you go, what is going on? I go, I don't know. Maybe they'll stop. No, they didn't stop. Chopping wood. Just chopping wood.
And I thought to myself, it's 12:30 in the morning. What a great time to split a cord of wood in the dark.
And it never ended. Like they
kept going on.
Chopping wood.
Yeah.
And so then we look out the window to see if we could see where they were. They were just a campsite away from us. And all you could see was their headlights.
The headlamps?
Their headlamps.
Yeah.
And you could see them like walking across their camp to get more wood and then chopping more wood. And then all of a sudden I see their headlamps coming toward us. And I go, Josh, they're coming into our campsite.
Okay, so we're in a campground where campsites are real close.
Yeah.
And yeah. And they were a couple of sites over chopping the wood, and then they got done chopping the wood, and so they had to carry the wood back to wherever they came from.
We don't know that.
Correct?
We don't know.
Okay,
it was dark.
Listen. Here's my theory of what happened.
Okay.
I think.
Hold on, because you are skipping the story, Josh. You're moving to the end too fast.
Go ahead.
So I see their headlights coming into our campsite. I go, Josh, they're coming into our campsite.
Again, headlamps. It's their flashlight. Headlights are on a car.
Oh, sorry.
Go
They're
ahead.
headlamps.
Yes. They're on foot.
So you jump out of bed and you're looking out the window. And I go, should I turn on the light so that they know that we're awake? Like, let's turn on the porch light. And you go, hold on a minute. Relax, you crazy woman. And the dog is barking, and I'm like, good. They need to know that we have a dog.
Okay.
They need to know that we're on alert. We know that you're here.
Yeah. I think they knew that they woken up the whole campsite. The whole campground was awake at 12:30 because they were chopping wood.
And here I am. I'm thinking you're like just watching. You're kind of on alert. And I'm here on the campsite going, okay, my phone is dead. If I need to call 911, whose phone? The kids are still asleep. I don't know how they're still asleep. You had your phone. I don't know what you were prepared to do. You were quiet. Wouldn't let me turn on the porch light. What was your plan? Did you have a plan?
Observe. That was my plan. I'm locked inside the trailer.
Yeah.
I got way more protection right now than they even need to worry about.
They had an axe.
Oh, whoa. Okay, listen. Here's the deal. They were chopping wood. Their campsite was in a crowded camp area.
Yeah.
And so I think they thought, we need more wood for our campfire because we're still having a campfire. We're being quiet. They weren't making a noise. They didn't have a bunch of music going or anything. And they thought, we need more wood. We should go chop some more wood. Let's carry a bunch of this down the road. So they walked a few campsites away from the last trailer that they saw, which happened to be us.
Yes.
And so we heard it more than anybody else. And because here's the deal, the dog was going nuts, things were happening. I'm sure they were aware that they had woken up our campsite as they walked their wood back to theirs, because they came back to cut more wood and they went even further away.
Yeah, they did.
You couldn't hear it so I really think they were like, "Oh no, we've not gone far enough away."
They had to have known they were going to wake us up.
It sounded like they were chopping wood right next to our campsite.
Because everything echoes in the mountains.
Sure.
But also, as I sat there and went, oh, this is how we're all going to die. When more sense came into my head, I went, I don't really think axe murderers are going to chop wood to wake you up before they murder you. I don't think that's their grand plan.
We'll sneak up on them after we chop this cord of wood. Let's put this axe to the test.
It's fine. We're alive.
Your imagination is wild.
Here's one other camping story. We got one
more.
We were sitting down to eat one night, and because sometimes campsites are a little bit closed, you hear what's happening at the other campsite. And the other campsite had made chicken in their Dutch oven, and I hear, "Hey, come get your chicken drumstick. Come get your chicken drumstick. Do you want a chicken drumstick? I have chicken drumsticks." I probably heard chicken drumstick at least 10 times.
Why are they called that, do you think?
I don't know. But then I hear, "I'm sorry the chicken is so tender." And then another person say, "I know."
Because it's a chicken leg. It's not a chicken drumstick.
Oh, but did you miss what I just said?
Yeah, I did.
I'm sorry the chicken was so tender. I know.
What? I'm sorry the chicken was so tender. That's something you don't apologize for. I'm sorry this dinner was delicious. That's what I'm going to start doing. Instead of, because people don't ever say thank you enough.
Yes.
So I'm going to slide in the thing you should have said thank you for as an apology. Oh, I'm sorry I helped you push your cart back.
I know. That's
not
even the correct response.
This is a weird response.
The whole conversation. And we were quietly eating, the four of us, kind of over here. I thought I was the only one eavesdropping. But as they said, I'm sorry the chicken is so tender, followed by, I know. Both the kids and I looked at each other and just started laughing. Like, what conversation is this? I said, somebody needs to start talking so we don't have to listen to our neighbor's conversation anymore.
Or you need a hobby.
Or that.
Or we need to not be in the campsite and go somewhere else. So you can eavesdrop on some other conversation.
I kind of wanted to go over and have the chicken drumstick just so I could see how tender the chicken was.
Oh, I heard it was too tender.
This chicken is so tender. This chicken drumstick is so tender. Why is it called a chicken drumstick? Did you know?
I'm trying to find out.
Because it doesn't look like a drumstick.
No, it does not. Drumsticks don't look like that.
No.
Someone said it's because it resembles the dark meat on fowl, meaning birds.
Yes.
Known today as drumsticks. Someone, most likely a musician, put two and two together and started calling the leg on a turkey or a chicken a drumstick, and the name stuck. I don't buy it.
I don't either. Doesn't look like a drumstick at all.
Apparently, early drumsticks were more mallet type than the long, skinny ones we see drummers have today. So old-timey drumsticks.
Okay. I'm going to look that up.
Old-timey drumsticks?
Early drumsticks. Let's see. Yeah. Wooden and brush form. Yeah, it does kind of look like a chicken drumstick. That's accurate.
Okay.
It looks like those ice cream cones that you like, those drumstick ice cream cones.
Also inappropriately named. Incorrectly named?
Accurately named if you go by the old-timey drumstick. It looks like one of those. The things we learn, don't we? We took our boats out yesterday. By boats, I mean a paddleboard, a kayak, and a pontoon.
That's correct. Those are 3 different kinds of flotation boats. Yes, that is true. That happened.
And we floated the river, and we decided that it would be fun to see how Luna, our new rescue dog, would do in a kayak.
Okay, let's rewind a little bit.
Sure.
Because earlier in the week, we went camping, and we were near a river. And we took a walk, and I went and floated, and we had the paddleboard, and we did a thing on the river, and the dog stayed on the shore and on the dock. Was a little bit crazy about the water and the people and the other dogs around, but swam and looked like she was having a good time in the water.
Yep.
And so we thought, let's see what happens. And there was too much going on at those docks and that boat dock where we were at. And so I think she was distracted, and we said, let's hold off from putting her on a boat till we can go somewhere a little more quiet. Let's make sure we have a flotation device for her, just, in case.
Yep.
We don't want her to get, in trouble. So through the week, we acquired those things. We found a new spot to go, went and floated.
Got her
She had her life jacket on. She was in the kayak with you. Emery was on the paddleboard. I was fishing in my pontoon. These are the things that were happening.
How did I end up with the dog is my question.
I don't know the answer to that other than you said, I'll put her in the kayak with me.
Because I feel like you were in a blow-up device. So I feel like she would have popped
I do have an inflatable tubes, yeah. That's how it floats.
I feel like she would have popped your pontoon boat. I feel like the paddleboard is too open. So she would have jumped off at any point. Like, that's uncontrollable.
All right.
She's uncontrollable.
So you felt like because the kayak's a sit-in, not a sit-on, and so you said, I'm going to be floating in the sit-in. I can put her by my feet. I can
put her there, and at least she's a little bit encaged.
Mm-hmm.
That was the worst time of my life. It was awful.
It was. We were on the water for a lot of hours.
It was so long.
And you pulled over. You let her kind of wander for a little bit, stretch her legs out a couple of times. And the last time when she got back in, she kind of settled down.
Well, I managed to put a life jacket on the bottom of the boat. And so I think maybe that was a little more comforting for her feet.
Okay.
And then I think she had just worn herself out from hours and hours and hours of just being so high strung that she just couldn't. She was like, I need a nap.
She had her hands up on the edge of the kayak with her head laying on it asleep. She was tuckered out.
Yeah, and then we were passing other boaters, and they're like, "Oh, what a good dog!" I'm like, "Do not even be fooled, because this dog has been chaos from the moment we put our boat in."
It was one of the most adorable, cute things to ever see.
It was not at the beginning. That dog was crazy. I'll never do that again. My legs, I couldn't tell if they were sunburned, red from being sunburned, or red from her claws just marking up my legs.
What'd you decide today?
I think it's still a mix of both.
It's still a mix of scratches and sunburn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what did we learn?
I'm happy that the life jacket has a little handle, because that came in handy much too often, where she would just jump. She tried to jump onto Emery's paddleboard when Emery would get too close, and then she would fall off. And so then you'd have to grab her by the handle and put her back in the boat. So that was super handy.
I was fishing.
Yeah, I know. You just were living your best life.
I was catching fish. The stuff was happening.
Good for
I was
you.
in the zone.
I
was having a good time.
So happy for you. I'm so glad one of us had a good day.
Me and the dog had a great time.
No, the dog did not have a great time. The dog had maybe a good half hour when she finally wore herself out enough to sleep. She was high-strung, anxiety-ridden. She didn't like being trapped in that boat. She didn't like being on the water every time.
I don't know about that.
No.
I think she kind of did.
Bro.
I saw her sleeping with her little hands.
Every time I paddled, she would try to bite the water.
Yeah.
She saw dogs. She hated the dogs. She hated everything. She hated Emery being in front of her. She hated Emery being behind her. She hated everything. She did not have a good time.
I think.
And she passed out the second we got in the truck.
Yeah.
Out.
I think we should try again.
I don't want to. I think maybe next time I will do some fishing and you can deal with the dog. How about that? How about them apples? How about that?
How about it? Did you have a good time?
No.
Oh, I couldn't tell. Hey, it's time for Would You Rather This or That?
Summer edition. Would you rather eat a pickle-flavored snow cone or a spinach-flavored ice cream cone?
Gross.
Spinach is so good. I'm picking that one because spinach is good. I enjoy a pickle, but not in the snow cone form. So
you say it like one, that it exists, and two, that you didn't make it up.
I'm sure it exists somewhere. Are you kidding me? With all the pickle craze that's happening lately, they've got pickles in Diet Coke that's happening
Dr.
all
Pepper.
over. It doesn't matter. Same.
Not the same.
There's pickled everything. Everything. Pickled chips everywhere. There's a pickle craze happening. So I wouldn't be surprised if you rolled up onto any of these snow shacks and been like, do you have pickle flavoring? They'd say 100%. You want a pickle flavored snow cone? No, thank you.
Would you do the we've not tried the Dr. Pepper with the pickles in it.
No, gross.
You don't want to try that?
I don't.
Would you do the snow cone if it had Dr. Pepper and then just pickle juice poured on it as well?
Okay, here's what I will do. I will try those things. I don't want to spend my money to try those things.
I see.
Because I know that I'm not going to enjoy those things and I don't want to waste my money.
What if it's the best thing you've ever had?
If it's a free sample, I will try it.
What if it's the best thing you've ever had?
Then I'll buy one. But I don't want to buy a whole one and just waste it. You see?
No.
Just give me a sample so I can try it. Because I'm absolutely willing to try it. I don't want to waste my money on it.
I think the spinach gets blended into enough smoothies that it's probably not really going to taste like spinach in the ice cream. So I'm going with that.
That's why I picked it. And also, spinach is good. I like spinach.
Unless it's like ice cream, chocolate ice cream with a handful of just limp boiled up spinach on it.
That's it. That's what it is.
Gross.
Like sprinkles, spinach sprinkles.
Yeah, except no, it's just a big old, like, somebody just took a handful of wet leaves and just went whack.
But it's not even the spinach leaves. It's going to be the spinach stems.
Oh, gross.
So you have to chew it.
No. Josh and Chantel. You're better today than yesterday daily challenge.
That's right. It's us.
This is something you can do today to make today better than yesterday.
Yes.
It's your better today than yesterday daily challenge.
Got it. Understood.
We've talked a lot about journaling. This comes up pretty often because it's a beneficial thing that you can do. And you do kind of an art journal thing.
Yeah.
But do you also write stuff down? You also have like a journal and occasionally you write things?
No. I used to.
No. Okay.
I used to, but then I thought, I have a gratitude journal.
Yeah. But
So
that's
I
what I'm
write
saying.
down-
You write down some things.
Yeah, I write down some stuff.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
But I don't write like, today
Dear diary.
I did in years past. I did, but
Whatever you write in there is up to you. That's your own thing. Today is to buy a mindfulness journal. Good grief. Mouth work. Today is to buy a mindfulness journal and make today day 1 of a 30-day journaling habit.
oh,
So you're supposed to spend the next 30 days writing down something mindful. And it could be a quote that you heard, or it could be just a moment of reflection, whatever it is. You don't have to, no one's going to see this. This isn't like something you got to write down, like, I better write 4 pages today. It's just a mindfulness journal,
okay.
something for you to write down your thoughts and make them real and maybe find some breakthroughs. That's kind of the idea.
Well, that's kind of what my art journal is. I kind of, because I don't necessarily draw, but I like to, people call them junk journaling a lot.
Sure.
You just kind of put some stuff down, and then I write like some quotes I've heard through the day that made me feel good.
Use some Mod Podge.
Yeah.
Leave a paintbrush in the bathroom downstairs.
Yeah.
As you do.
Put some washi tape in there.
Cool.
You get it. You get the idea.
Whatever that means. That's the idea today, though, on your Better Today Than Yesterday Daily Challenge, is to get yourself a mindfulness journal and make today the first of 30 days of a journaling habit.
Good luck.
You make it sound like it's a big daunting thing.
I do. If it's 30 days, and then you have to do it every day, because I don't do my art journal every day. When I have the opportunity or I feel like it, yes. Do I feel better when I do it? Of course. But if you say you have to do this every day for 30 days, then it would lose its sense of fun for me.
The idea is that today you make the first day today.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
What you do with that after that, make today the first day. Be mindful. Write down some thoughts. That's all.
Okay.
You're making it sound like this big project that somebody's going to be grading you on, you're going to have to turn that in 30 days. No. It's just be mindful. Write something down.
All right. I got it. I understand. Pressure off.
There you go. That's going to do it for us. Have a great rest of your Monday. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Actually, before we go, here in about 10 minutes, we are going to unwrap the second Christmas in July present. So we aren't leaving just yet. We've got one more thing to take care of. I got ahead of myself. And then once we do that, we'll take off. But if you want to enter to win mystery present number 2, you can enter right now in the Classy 97 app. You can enter to win mystery present number 3 that will open tomorrow at 10.
You can.
If
you
you
sure
want.
can.
You can enter to win the Gentry Christmas that was announced
That
on
we've already
Friday.
opened.
We already opened that present.
But you can still enter to win tickets.
That's right. So anyway, coming up here in 10 minutes or less, we are going to open that up. So
Hooey.
get yourself ready. Thanks for listening to Wake Up Classy 97, the podcast. If you enjoy the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Wake Up Classy 97 is hosted by Josh and Chantel Tyler and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com.